everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker. To think there, couldn't remember the name of the game. Amount of hours I've put into it, I've forgotten you already. It's only been about 3 days since the last session. Anyway, hello again folks, we're back. We're back for some more Pathfinder Kingmaker, where Elquist and company are about to venture forth. Who is that company, you might cry out? Well, this company is going to consist of Reggie, our new best buddy, chaotic neutral fellow person who seems to have got a little bit less aggressive nowadays, and he seems to like the finer things in life like drink and entertainment too. I think Elquist has convinced him to separate from Octavia even. I mean, unheard of. They've been living it up in the dance hall, amongst other places, I'm sure. So he's coming along to the Armag's tomb. We're going to really test him. He had a little bit of an easy ride as his introduction to our tank. We weren't exactly tested, were we? Let's be honest. So let's test him in a proper dungeon with difficult creatures and stuff. And also a Mary, because hello, you think she's going to stand idly by while we go and face off against Armag? She's going to sit there quietly like a little mouse? Of course not. She's going to be blustering. She's going to be, I'm coming! And so she's coming. Clearly. There he is, look. Yeah, we haven't used him. We also haven't used him hasn't used his powers properly as well, which kind of is a bit frightening really when considering that we're probably going to be encountering some difficult encounters in Armag's tomb, and we have we're a bit rusty with it. Well, rusty indicates that we had some competence in the first place. We're inexperienced with him, and Mary isn't optimised really, other than the fact we've given her with a big powerful weapon, and hope that that'll be enough to deal with problems. Right, Skunktown it is. And apparently, somewhere in Glenabon is Armag's tomb. Now, there's a lot of Glenabon that's unexplored, but I think we'll kind of get to here in 18 hours and we'll just have a look around. I'm hoping that the game will register the fact that we know where it is now, and it will just pop up on our map if we stumble across it, and that we don't have to actually physically do anything else in the kingdom management to find it, because that'll be irksome. Oh, for God's sake. Oh no. Because what you need before a great, dangerous dungeon, what you need before that happens is to waste your resources on a bunch of barbarians. Clearly. Right, what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull back, because we're a bit separated. We shall draw the enemy towards us in completely the wrong formation. Yeah, completely wrong. So let's do a little bit of a something like this, shall we? We'll have fighters to the front, flankers to the flanks, archers to the archer position, and then Christian bringing up the rear in a kind of that formation style. I like that, that was good. Okay, so now where were we? That was right, we were about to get into position. Go, men and women and children. Here they come. No. No. They're coming from all angles. The Cundio, Tristian need to come away. Doggy needs to attack. Ragogna's probably going to have to stay because Elquist is struggling to get away. Lindsay, little legs, come here. Elquist, just stand here. Right, and actually he's not got any buffs on, which is a slight issue. Do we go with a buff, or do we see if his base AC is enough to deal with some poxy barbarians? I think we might stay to find out.
This should do it.
Maybe we could give a mirror image, I don't know. But this is the problem with getting accosted before you reach your destination. This looks like it could hurt. Or maybe not. Let's carry on. As you were, team. Okay. I'd call that success. From where I'm from, in my parts, that's a success. Right,
Together we are unstoppable.
See? We like his attitude. Don't get me wrong, Valerie's been with us a long time. We would never kick her to the curb permanently. But, you know, there's only so much do-goody you can do. You know what I mean? Her do-goody ways. Don't get me wrong, it serves a purpose. But sometimes you just want somebody a bit more fun in the party. Who enjoys the finer things in life. Like seeing his enemies dead on the floor. Okay, let's carry on. We've survived a 24th random encounter. Just another 76 to go to get the achievement. I can see myself running around the map for hours just to get that achievement. Not. I'm sure some people may. Those completionists out there. I seem to recall the message said central area of Glenabon 7, southern central. I don't know. I'm guessing from memory here. And it doesn't seem to say. We have an entire ancient library. So one of these books must mention the tomb of Armag. However, we don't have lifetimes to spare to read all the tomes. We'll have to hire some scholars. But it does say the Glenabon uplands here. So we should be able to find it if we meander about the areas that we haven't come across yet. Right, let's just carry on here. I hope to get a bit lucky. I hope it's not one of those locations that crop up literally when you have to be right next to it. Pike stretch? I don't think so. Wicked field? No, perhaps not. Okay, avoid please. Avoid please. Avoid. Oh. Giant's palm? No. Serpent trail? Lots of charred ruins? Charred ruins.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
We can't rest just yet. We're looking for Armag's tomb here. Oh, shut up. Serpent trail. Mysterious shrine. Let's go down. Let's go down. Shrewish Gulch. Armag's tomb! Armag's tomb! Armag's tomb! We found it! I don't know how many days it's taken us, but we found it! We ain't fatigued yet, so it's not too bad. And plus this land is very flat, so we walk quite quickly, as you've noticed. So, and we've unlocked a hell of a lot of places for our grand tour of the Glenabon Uplands. Why do I keep calling it Uplands? The Glenabon Uplands. When we finally come over this way. No, we want to rest first because we're knackered. And we need to prepare. Use our rations, everybody else. We're going to cook. Oh, you can't go. I was going to say, you can't go into this without a chocolate ice cream in your belly. But is there actually anything in terms of buffs that would be really useful? +1 bonus to AC. Not bad. This is +3 to all skill checks. And if we're going to be conversing, detecting traps, that could be useful. So do you know what? Chocolate ice cream it is. Who's here? And Mary's here. Of course she is. Let's go.
Aren't you tired of being so polite and soft? Don't you want to let off some steam, huh?
Obviously
Go on, pick up a sword. Let's practice.
Talking to Lindsay, obviously.
I won't hit you too hard.
Obviously.
Thank you for your care.
Tristan!
But I don't want to take up arms. These hands like to heal wounds, not inflict them.
Look at that. It's almost like Tristan never betrayed us, isn't it? We've completely forgotten about that now. Time has passed. Weeks have passed. It's fine. Tristan, you're forgiven. Yeah, being blinded is quite the punishment. Right, okay, good. An excellent chocolate ice cream, which is Lindsay's favourite. I hate to tell you folks, and this may come as a bit of a shock, but I'm not actually a big fan of chocolate ice cream. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not the biggest fan. Don't get me wrong, I like a nice ice cream. I'm a big Haagen-Dazs ice cream fan. I prefer Haagen-Dazs to Ben & I think Ben & Jerry's, I tend to find, from my taste buds, is a bit flavourless, whereas Haagen-Dazs ice cream's much more creamy. Just my personal opinion. So yeah, and I also hate to admit that I'm kind of a plain Jane kind of ice cream person. Give me a tub of Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream and I'll eat the whole tub. Love it. Absolutely love it. I don't like chocolate in my ice cream in terms of chocolate pieces because they go hard and I don't like hard chocolate. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I always find it a bit too rich and a bit too... I'm not the biggest fan. And you need shooting if you like mint ice cream. Good grief. Anyway, sorry about that. Just a slight distraction. I'm not streaming, so I don't have to entertain you too much, do I? But I can't help myself. I go into these tirades of randomness occasionally. Reach Armag, confront Armag. Maybe the tomb isn't full of dead people and nasties, and maybe we can just face him straight away. This is a main quest, though, so the main quest was quite... the main quest dungeons have been tricky recently, and I can't see them getting any easier. I would have preferred to be level 13 for this. We're not quite there, so this could be even tougher than perhaps it might have been had we have spent more time levelling our characters up with menial side explorations and fighting a lot more of those random encounters, but we haven't. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on. I am supposed to be cutting this session to about 40 minutes because I'm playing football in 2.5 hours. Some grim barbarians are sitting near the bonfire, speaking in low voices and casting sidelong glances toward the tomb entrance. Noticing you, one of them reaches for his weapon out of habit, but he catches himself and instead pats the space on the log beside him. Greetings, traveller. Come have a seat. Don't suppose you've heard anything about the battle between the Tiger Lords and Restov, have you? Who won? How did it go? Elk was saying as he parks his backside on a log. Rumour has it the barbarian chieftain left his men in the middle of battle, so they turned their backs on him and returned to Numeria. Is the top and bottom of it. Really? Then what are we sitting around here for? Quiet! Numeria is far away and he's still very close. Yes, would you care to enlighten me exactly what this place is, as if we've stumbled here by chance? The tomb of Palest Armag, great chieftain and invincible fighter. Invincible fighter. Damn his hide. Another dusty underground tomb. I'm so sycamore and tired of them. That's a joke, isn't it? That's a throwback to the very first dungeon of the game. Remember it? The sycamore, under the sycamore tree thing? We spent ages in that. That's a joke. It wasn't with us at the time, but still. That's funny. And, yeah, now currently two best mates here. Reggie and Elquist. Elquist entertaining Reggie with his joke. No matter how many you explore, there's always sycamore. A good one. All right, I'm ready to crawl into another underground hole for your sense of humour. They've become best mates. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you the truth. Dearie me. And there we were, casting him aside for so many weeks and months for Valerie, and all along, we've been missing out. Anyway, back to the topic. Sorry about that. We're just having a private joke amongst ourselves, barbarian fellas. What exactly are you doing here? Our chieftain brought us here. He took several of us into the tomb with him and told the rest to wait outside. No one's left this place since, and we've been sitting here for weeks. Weeks. I see. Well, I think I might have to pop my head inside the tomb, if you don't mind. There's a sister standing guard at the entrance. She's a mighty witch, and she's crazy as a bat. She won't just let you in. And even if she did, there are a lot of traps down there. Ah, fear not, my good friend. First of all, I'm sure I can convince his sister that allowing us in is the best course of action. And second of all, you are speaking to a master trap disarmer. Excuse me, Lindsay, are you laughing? No? Well, if you do happen to make it past the traps and the sister, there's still Armag to deal with. He'll kill you. But hey, you're welcome to try. Yes, about this... Well, actually, I don't know if we can incite them to... I don't think they're going to fight. I wonder if we can actually incite them to fight her and get her out of our own way. Do you know what we're feeling a bit for it? Maybe Reggie's influence has got us being a bit more, you know, like this, perhaps. Just a bit more brazen, perhaps, in his approach to things. Aren't you fed up with this sister? I mean, if she'd have stood there barking orders, I think I may have finished her off long ago. Oh, damn. That's a high skill roll. Yeah, I wonder if we could convince them to attack her. Oh. That is a high skill check, though. Oh, it's not. It's a 36. We rolled an 8. Oh, if we'd have just buffed before I started conversing, we might have passed that. Never mind. Even with our 3 food. Right, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Have a safe trip. Which means that we are going to have to fight the sister. The fact that there was an option there, but before we do speak with the sister, if we can speak, we are going to cast some buffs before the conversation. So it's one thing that I don't do in this, I haven't done very often at all in this game, is buff before conversations. And I always end up kicking myself for not doing it. Because a lot of the times, the conversations can be swayed by a positive skill check. So
in due time.
That's us. Ooh, look at that. What's all this? Ooh, a Kelly tribal fetish. Just what I've always wanted.
A trivial matter.
Oh, gold powder. I think we'll leave the wooden plate. You know, I'm not that desperate for coin to take plates made of wood now.
What's that thing?
Oh. Dirty, untidy tent and some more little hidden fetishes. Not too big. Okay, I won't go there. Uh-oh. Okay, no, she's hostile straight away. She's hostile straight away. Okay. Reggie just taking his time. Is there a fight happening shortly? There might be, Reggie. Yeah, there might be. Just might want to get a move on. Right, I'm saving this game. The reason why I'm saving it over a separate slot and not a quick save is simply because I am saving it on a separate slot just in case we don't have enough. I mean, Reggie's fine, Amiri's fine, but you know, if it's a massive struggle or a problem, you know, our stronger party makeup will probably be Valerie and Knock. So if we do need to change it, we've got a place to change it. I don't think we're going to need it. Right, Wundy Face Sister. Buffing or no buffing?
I'm restless.
That's the question. And Reggie's getting restless, so let's get a move on, shall we? 1 minute per level. I think that's 10 minutes for him, right? 10 minutes? He's got 10 caster levels, so that's not too bad a buff time. Got 6 casts of level 1. Gives him a 4 AC. I think there's a starter. There's a starter. It's a 39 tanky AC. She is a magic person. I wonder if no, let's not get too excited here. Right. I'm kind of thinking safety first. We're going in a dungeon. We're going to have to preserve our health. preserve our powers. So sniping her before she even has an attack could be useful.
I grant you death.
Sniping her before she gets an attack off. Take note, Acundio. Killing her. Oh wow, she's not dead yet. How did we not strike with that charge? Okay, let's just get ourselves into an attack of opportunity situation. So if she casts a spell, we've got 3 people that will attack her, basically. Which should kill her off. If we don't kill her with other people first, like Tristan here. Who sucks with his bow, but Lindsay's quite capable with hers. Ooh, but not capable enough to kill her. Right, okay. Elquist can't move very far. Why is he moving so slowly? Oh, damn it! Because he's got that on! Okay, now I realise why he was walking around. Here she goes. Baleful Gaze. We've... Oh! That is an issue. I don't know how he bites her. Oh, good grief. The barbarians gather round the sister's bloody body. Oh, so that's it? The witch is gone? There's no turning back now. Armag won't waste any time investigating. He'll just tear our heads off. To the abyss with him! Are we supposed to wait here for him until we're old and grey? He's a traitor, not a chieftain. First he takes us to conquer Restov without any proper scouting, like sheep to the slaughter, and then he leaves his forces right before a huge battle to go digging around in some hole in the ground. Other chieftains have been deposed for far less. Right, enough is enough. I say, whether he's alive or dead, we go back to Numeria. We'll tell the elders everything, and they can choose a new chieftain. Sounds like a good plan to me, unless you want to come and join us in here. Well, if not, good luck to you. Good luck to you too. I have a feeling that we're going to need to look far more than you will. Right, defaced sister. Has she got any loot on her person? Clearly not. We are knackered. Because that stupid baleful gaze. So we have to use a restoration. Which only removes the 1, and this is permanent constitution and charisma drain, unfortunately, which is let's just have a check here. -2, -1 charisma, not too bad. -2 to con, mainly affects hit points, not the end of the world. Lindsay's charisma drain is a bit more of an issue because it's she uses charisma for her spells, unfortunately. Constitution is strength. Shouldn't use strength, of course, but constitution. Strength might be an issue in terms of her carry capacity, though. We do have, and it goes in order, right? So it'll take her strength first, I think. Oh, this is a pain in the backside now to get rid of this. We do have, for such situations, by the way, Scrolls of Restoration, which would, again, it's similar to his restoration, so we'd have to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 of these to get rid of all of them debuffs. Alternatively, we could use the Greater Restoration, which would remove all of them in one go, which seems a bit of a waste, to be fair. Oh, this is a right pain in the ass. Right, what we can end up doing is we can end up doing this. Getting one of these back. Doing that. Check out the strength first, right? Which is the most useless of her stats that have been drained. 4 scrolls. Or one rest and 2 scrolls, potentially. Right, we're going to leave these. They're not the end. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We're not like completely crippled by that. It's not ideal, I will admit, but we can soldier on. Okay, so before we forget, let's cast Mage Armor on Doggy, and let us venture
Follow my lead.
into Armag's tomb. Which is going to be a... Oh, we can quick save it now because we've created the hard save. Okay. Come on, Candy. What are you doing? Catch up. Right, how big is this place? Right, it's a little bit big. A little bit big. Does that make sense? It's slightly big. It's quite big. It's sizable. Enough. Alright, let's go. Who doesn't love a good dungeon delve in a tomb? Come on now. We should be consummate professionals at this. Should I put Elquist's perception goggles on to detect the traps better? Nah, of course not. Why would I do that? Why would I make our leader more proficient? It would ruin the illusion of him being a bumbling buffoon. Can't make him look too competent now, can we? Okay. Fresh footprints are present here. As there should be fresh footprints. We know that somebody's coming here. It's not a surprise, is it? Oh, not spectres! Come on now! Right, we need to do this properly. And by properly, I mean use Death Ward, of which we've got 2 casts. 3 casts if we really want to use it. But I'm thinking cast it on Regogna, have him be the focal point. Which should hopefully stop him from getting energy drained, and he should have also now at this point probably some of his other spells on, such as shield. Oh, that's a bit shorter cast. Stone Skin. That's the wrong level. Sorry. Let me see what we're doing with him here. Mage Armor's no good. Let's have a look here. Mirror Image. As soon as he gets hit, that's going to disappear. Effortless Armor. Cast that. Could buff his spell even further, to be honest with you. Displays. Oh, that's 1 round per level also. Slow and haste. Stone Skin is how long? 10 minutes per level. Does require 5 diamond dust. Only 2 casts. I think with Death Ward and Shield, I think, and Effortless Armor, I think he should be okay. I think he should be okay. Everybody a bit closer. These things are a pain. A royal pain. More than one. Right, let's do we? I don't think we'll go turn-based for this. I think we're fine. I think we come out of combat, out of stealth. Right, 0. So he's not getting hit because he's immune to energy drain. We've got to be very careful with who we have walking in here and the aggro, because any of these guys get hit, it's a level drain, and we've got a problem. Right, we want Amiri. Maybe a bit of cleave. Maybe I don't think she can hit cleave. Okay, let's just hope that we don't suffer too much malady here. Okay. I am determined to ensure that this dungeon run is not as calamitous as the last one. We have supplies, we have restoration, we have diamond dust. I think 119, just to be double, triply, quadruply sure that we've got enough. I brought 119, says Elquist. I don't think you're going to need that many. Well, I've got a complex about being underprepared for dungeons nowadays. Rightly so, some would say. Right, how long is Death Ward lasting? 10 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Perhaps we needed to keep Death Ward just for him, for the entire dungeon. And we go back to being stealthy. Watching out for traps, watching out for ambushes. Uh-oh. We felt a cold breeze as soon as we entered the room. Ice shards appeared on the walls and floor, and a labyrinth of thick ice walls grew up around us. The walls were waist-high to a human, but they were head-high to me. The centre of the room had a pressure plate on the floor, while the entrance to the labyrinth had a massive pedestal carrying a tiger statue made of ice. The exit was at the far end of the room, locked, of course, and the inscription above it read, Trial of Strength. The air in the room was cool and the temperature dropped with each passing moment. It seemed like the magic was stealing all warmth from the room bit by bit. Wasting no more time. We tried to pick the lock on the door, probably not going to work. Explored the labyrinth in search of the right path. Started pushing the statue in random directions. Tried to cheat by standing on the pressure plate ourselves. Started breaking through the walls to make a straight path to the centre. Exited the room to warm up a bit. Okay, so labyrinth of ice. Centre room had a pressure plate on the floor, while the entrance to the labyrinth had a massive pedestal. So we have to push the pedestal onto the statue. That's going to waste time. We need to stand on the plate which will open the door, right? But then if we search for the right path, we can probably push the statue along that path, because Rigogna's got some extraordinary strength, right? So, explore first. Jesus. Okay, so we found the path, but we have failed the intelligence check with a horrendously bad roll. But we will push the statue, because we do have some decent strength with old Reggie. Oh, it's athletics, in fact. But we smashed the test. We could not have failed it. The ice tiger merrily ran through the labyrinth. Pushing it was much easier than expected, but the labyrinth itself was extremely tricky. Sometimes, to get 5 steps closer to the centre, we had to make a loop longer than the whole room's perimeter. Yeah, keep pushing. We kept pushing the ice tiger right in its broad rear end, moving it ever forward. The inventive folks who created this labyrinth must have been trying to mock anyone who underwent this trial. One moment, the right path led us to almost the centre, and the next to the opposite direction. But we didn't give up, taking heart in the thought that Armag must have had to do the same. We continued to push the statue, and continued to succeed. Okay. Our path took us through a deep wide loop and a long curving passage, which brought us closer to the centre before taking us further away, but we finally managed to get it to the centre of the room and onto the pressure plate. It trembled beneath the statue's weight, and then a roaring pillar of flame erupted all the way to the ceiling. The ice tiger evaporated in a heartbeat, along with the entire labyrinth. The room warmed rapidly, even becoming a bit hot. The stone door opened, and the path was clear. Right there. The path has opened to us. Fantastic. Let's just continue to explore this particular area, if you don't mind. First, second. Because there may be hidden goodies here, just like this. So what we're going to do is to make sure that we grab hidden goodies. We're going to ensure that we have the appropriate attire on. We have the appropriate buffs on. It's going to ruin my order, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Right, there we go. There we go. Lindsay, you go there. Justin, go there. Oh, it looked so. It looks so beautiful, my little shape. I've now ruined it. It's about right. What am I doing? Open quickly. There we go. Elquist is encumbered. Why is Elquist? Oh, because he's... No. He's not encumbered, silly billies. He's perfectly fine. And that's proper locked.
All according to plan.
Which you would expect it to be. Considering that this door opened, why would they let us go through a different door? Oh, okay. Stop.
In due time.
Time for Elquist to earn his pennies now.
I can't.
So that's a trickery. Is this a trickery vest? Yeah. Okay, let's put that on.
It is finished.
I might keep that trickery vest on for the time being, just simply because there'll be a crap ton of traps, I imagine. There you go, another one.
I know what to do.
I would hope so, Elquist. I would hope so. As the party's rogue. Traps should be your forte, should they not?
I need a challenge.
Okay. What the hell happened to them guys? It's dropping dead before us. Okay, well, at least we can take their loot. What's a positive to these things, you know? Oh, Armag, where are you? Come to Daddy.
Interesting.
A relatively straight-ish path so far. Doors, can you be opened? Of course not. 720 XP per trap. That's pretty decent. Getting ever closer to level 30. We may probably level up before the end of this questline. Which would be nice. Not before beating Armag. I think maybe beating Armag would be the thing that tips us over. Greater Skeletal Champion. Okay.
Any fun to be had?
Oh yes, Reggie. There's lots of fun to be had. We've got Skeletal Champions here. Why don't you make yourself the centre of attention? Cleric of Gorham. Okay. I think we might cast Mirror Image for this one. And then we're going to come out of the shadows and let's have some fun. Hi! Okay, good. We like it. We like it. We like it. Okay. What I'm going to start doing is start opening these with somebody that's not got trickery, just in case they are locked, and then we know for certain to buff ourselves appropriately. It also allows us to see the oh, he can't pick locks, so you don't even get a roll. I want to see potentially see the roll as well that we need to hit so we can judge.
To becoming dismembered.
Giant scrambled egg with Shambletus. The flipping hell is Shambletus? Sounds hideous. Fancy a bit of Shambletus on your toast? No thanks. I think I'll pass. Scrambled eggs with Shambletus. What the hell? I thought that would be a good idea. Don't you just love a bit of Shambletus in the morning? And a nice little ring of AC3. Right. I think that's it. Got a door there that we can't open. A door there that we can't open. And a set of stairs leading down. Which of course we are going to have to go down and explore the lower reaches of this place. To the lower level. Yes, but it's 42 minutes of the session gone, and I need to get this done before football. So we'll end it here. In the next session, we descend lower into Armag's tomb, and we shall see how we get on. But so far, I've got to say, we haven't run out of rations. We've not failed to bring rations. We've remembered to cast Death Ward and use it effectively to prevent level drain. Is it possible that Elquist is learning from his mistakes? Who knows? But so far, I mean, maybe he's just trying to give a good impression to Reggie that we're a professional outfit. Maybe he's just trying to impress. Because I'm sure Reggie probably is impressed right now because he's barely had to lift a finger, hasn't he? He's chopping things down, having fun, laughing, joking, party mowing down things. He's probably thinking that life is pretty good right now. But anyway, in the next session, we carry on dungeon delving. Until then, I'll see you soon.